It's Greg Benson here at Commodity Classic talking to Karl Scronce, who's the president of the National Wheat Growers Association, and Karl's from Klamath Falls, Oregon. Karl, first just talk about the crop out in your area and some of the issues you're facing this year, potentially with everybody focuses on California water issues.
Well, sure. We kind of have a similar situation in the southern Oregon. We have an area that's about 300,000 acre basin and farming area, and so we're suffering from some water problems, somewhat like they are in the Central Valley. We have some endangered species where we have lake level minimums, and until that lake gets to a certain high level, we can't start irrigating. So, that's kind of a concern for me on a personal basis right now.
How potentially dangerous of a situation is that for you and other farmers in your area?
Oh, totally. We grow lots of row crops, potatoes, onions. There's a lot of strawberry rootstock, for example, high-value crops, horseradish, things like just some specialty crops, and hay and cattle and grain. And it's just we are totally dependent on irrigation. We cannot grow a dryland crop in our area.
Well, let's shift to the issues facing NOG right now, and just outline for me real quickly your legislative and regulatory agenda for this year.
Well, sure. As far as Farm Bill policy, our committees are meeting here at Classic and getting some work done in that area. I think our biggest concerns are, if they reopen the Farm Bill and have a budget reconciliation, money savings, we want to be very careful about money being taken out of the Farm Bill for, commodity prices, particularly wheat prices right now are, getting low, way below the cost of production, so we sure don't need any of that safety net taken away. Also, we're working on the crop insurance issue that, they're working with agents that are risk management on the money that's paid to the private contractors for crop insurance.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the potential for opening up the Farm Bill again. What are your people in Washington telling you the odds are on that?
Well, we had a winter meeting in January in D.C. and Chairman Colin Peterson, the chairman of the House Ag Committee, came and told us that was probably a good possibility that they will. So to be wary of that.
What's the potential impact for wheat growers if that happens?
Well, I mean, the safety net that works for farmers right now is, wheat farmers is, the direct payment. Many people, the only payments they've gotten in a number of years, actually since the 2004 Farm Bill, has been direct payments some farmer can depend on, and also just from what the conversation I hear around the committee table is crop insurance. So not that they would take money from that at this time, but direct payment is something that's very, very important to a wheat farmer.
The crop insurance issue, now that is something that people do talk a lot about, though. They may not take it away right now, but there's certainly a chance of that coming down the pike, isn't there?
Just most definitely. And what I like about crop insurance is it's something that, the policy, you kind of have some control over that. It's like, your production history. It's based on your production history. You pay money into that program, and also, it's subsidized, especially, and I buy a pretty high rate. I have an 80% coverage, crop revenue coverage on all my wheat, and I think, over time, it's not going to be a money maker. It's a risk management tool that I think is very important to wheat farmers. I mean, when you live in an area that has, where wheat is grown, there's potential for drought and just crop failures, and so you need something to even that out. And I don't know that you're going to be making money with crop insurance, but at least it evens out the risk.
Well, what will that mean to your association, but just wheat growers in general? I mean, will we probably would lose a lot of wheat acres in the U.S. if that were to happen, would it not?
Most definitely. I mean, I believe in a food policy for our country, and part of that is, I think, keeping agriculture in our country, and I think the better self-sustaining we can be, the better off we are, and as a nation, that's just that I just strongly believe that, and I think most people would too. too. Depending on foreign sources of food is could be hit and miss on the availability and price, so and quality of food and safety of food. I mean, there's a whole array of issues that could be attributed to growing our own food and having control over that.
And is that something that we can afford in the world right now when you look at some of the drop in wheat acres around the globe?
Exactly right. I mean, last year there was a record amount of wheat grown, lots of wheat on the market. Sure, if the price goes down, people quit growing, crop failure somewhere, could be right back in the situation we were a few years ago.
All right, that's Karl Scronce, the president of the National Association of Wheat Growers from Klamath Falls, Oregon, out here at Commodity Classic in Anaheim, California.